This is a common challenge in the UK at the moment, and if you're a victim of this, you don't have to be scared or you don't have to worry yourself so much because you're not alone in this. A lot are actually going through this licenses problem at the moment. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fajira. If you're seeing this beautiful face for the very first time, I'm so happy to have you all in our beautiful family. For my returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. I really do appreciate. God bless you. If you're new to this channel, I share content on migrating to the UK, live in the UK, like everything you can think about the UK. So if you're someone who is interested, or you know anyone who may be interested in such content, do hit on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, so each time I upload a new video, you'll be the first person to see that video. So guys, let's quickly dive right into today's video. Today's video, I've got an update. This was published regarding companies and their licenses being revoked. As you can see on my screen, increasing numbers of visa sponsorship licenses suspended or revoked. Should employers be worried? This is something that a lot of people are going through right now. Like, I've lost count of the number of people that are going through this problem of they arrived in the UK and their company license was revoked. And I also know quite a good number as well still back in their countries because the company license was revoked. They were not able to get their visa granted, and some of them, their visas have been granted, but because the company license have been revoked, they will not be allowed to enter the UK. This is a big challenge in the UK at the moment. Like, we know the whole COS saga thing and so on, that some employers actually started their companies just to bring in people and they don't have hours for them, which to an extent with what Home Office is doing, it's a good thing because this will prevent a lot of people that still have the intentions of just opening a company to get the license and bring in their candidates or bring in their employees, and when they get to the UK they don't have anything to offer them. So just as you can see, people management explores the implication of the Home Office's clampdown on businesses and how they should respond. Now, apart from the fact that these companies have lost their licenses, a lot of people are affected, and in some cases Home Office sends them a letter asking them to leave the country in 60 days if they are not able to find another sponsorship. So just as you can see, the number of employers who had their skilled worker visa sponsorship license cancelled in the second quarter of 2024 reached 1,023 compared to just 519 in the first quarter, according to the latest Home Office data. So Home Office is always going through companies, like we know, and the ones that are not able to meet the compliance, they revoke their license. But before they revoke their license, they suspend them and give them time to provide all the documents they require from them. And if they are not able to provide those documents, they will now revoke the license. So just as you can see, of the employers who lost their sponsorship license in the second quarter, 524 had it suspended, while 499 were revoked. These figures mark a dramatic increase compared to the second quarter of 2023, when just 89 employers had their licenses suspended and 28 had it revoked. So what has caused this uptake, and should it be a concern for employers? We know that the Home Office, they usually go around unannounced. Sometimes they tell the employers that they are coming for them to get their record up to date, but now they don't just allow the employers to give them the particular files they want to check. They just check randomly, and a lot of companies, like we know, they don't meet the Home Office compliance. And when there's a visit from Home Office to such organization and Home Office gets to find out that they are not meeting the Home Office compliance in terms of recruitment, staffing, and so on, there is a fine that is attached to it, and that fine has also been increased. Civil penalty fines for non-compliance skyrocketed in February this year, increasing from 15,000 to 45,000 for a first breach and from 20,000 to 60,000 for repeat offenses. Headline approach, which has tightened the noise around non-compliant sponsors. Nowhere is this scrutiny more intense than in the nursing and care home sector, where a wave of license revocation reflects UKVI's fear of widespread abuse. It remains to be seen if these concerns are justified. So if you're one of those who is currently going through this, what I would suggest, and this happens commonly with companies that they actually paid for their COS, because there will always be something to show the Home Office that this company has not been operating genuinely. So if you're someone who is in such organization, what you can do once you get to the UK is to start looking out for another organization that will sponsor you, because once the license is revoked, the next thing they send a letter, but they don't send it all the time, but at some point they will send a letter to say the license has been revoked, you've got so days to stay. And just as you could see, that the number of companies that are losing their licenses now is even more. So for everyone who has emailed, called to say, oh Fajira, I just came in, the company license have been revoked, I'm broken, know that it's not just you alone. A lot are going through that. So at the same time, some companies, when they go on suspension and Home Office requests for those documents, once they're able to provide it, they reinstate them. So don't be too scared. Don't be too worried at the same time. Just find out from the organization what they are doing. So let's look at what is the impact of the clampdown, because the Home Office is also intentionally doing this to cut down on the number of fake companies that have got no hours for their employees. So for those businesses which are heavily reliant on sponsored workers, the fallout could be existential once whole fail. There will also be a reputational consequences as the Home Office publishes the names of those businesses who have had their licenses revoked. As you can see, Jayanahan further outlined that sponsors, a license suspension freezes their ability to recruit new migrants. A downgrade to B rating forces them into a time-bound action plan. Failure to meet certain targets can result in license revocation. Worst of all, there is no right of appeal, and with a mandatory 12-month cooling off period before they can reapply. The reputational damage is often irreversible. So when a company license is revoked, there is a 12-month cooling period. Within that time, that same employer cannot register to become a licensed sponsor. They have to wait till after then. And in some cases, some employers, they are aware of this and they just still go ahead to open their companies to do all sorts of things, because they know after 12 months, they will want to reapply again. But it's left for the Home Office to decide if they intend to give to them again or they deny them. So an increased number of employers having their license revoked or suspended can have their consequences for sponsored workers. Explaining, when a license is revoked, these workers face the frightening prospect of losing their immigration status and scrambling to secure new sponsorship within a mere 60 days, which in most cases, some people don't even end up getting a new sponsorship and they leave, and some stay illegally, which I wouldn't advise anyone to live in the UK illegally because it can be frustrating. So the latest enforcement of compliance among sponsors comes in light of a wide effort to reduce immigration figures, most notably in the form of changes to visa rules under the former Conservative government. Also to let you know that all the rules that were changed recently are still in place. So the reform, which came into force in April this year, mean care workers are no longer able to bring partners or children with them to the UK, and sponsors must now pay workers a minimum of 38,700 compared to the previous threshold of 26,200. Bear in mind that the care workers and senior carers are exempt. They have to earn 23,200 to be able to stay and work in the UK or to be able to sponsor from overseas. The advice from this publication for what employers should be doing, and once you notice that the company you're working in is not observing this, you have to shine your eye and start looking out for elsewhere, so you don't get into that position of having to start looking for another sponsorship in the next 60 days. To avoid losing their visa sponsorship license, COS said an organization must be UKVI audit ready at all times, as this visit can be a surprise or scheduled, as earlier mentioned. So they have to be ready. They have to do things accordingly. They have to stop collecting money if they are taking money for their sponsorship or so. They have to stop a whole lot of things so that they can still carry on to maintain their license. So guys, this is not just only you going through this. A lot are actually going through it. And just to encourage you and to remind you that irrespective of the situation, just be calm and start looking for other companies. People are faced with deportation at the moment, but at the same time, you may be lucky like others as well that were able to get another company to sponsor them. So don't be too hard on yourself. I've listened to some voice notes from people who sent to me that they are upset, they want to go back. If your company license is suspended, just follow up with the company to find out what the organization is doing. And if they tell you that they've submitted documents and so, while you're doing that, just also keep applying for jobs. And just to also remind you that if you're not driving, ensure that you start learning how to drive, because most of the companies that give easy sponsorship, they give it to drivers. So if they have two people and one person drives and you don't drive, they'll prefer to give to the person that drives, because they need that kind of employer in the organization to make things work for them. So you also do other things to make you qualified for a sponsorship. So once you're able to find that company to sponsor you, you will see that everything will work smoothly. So you're not alone, but at the same time, once you notice anything that is not right in the organization you're working with, start looking elsewhere, because it's just a matter of time. Home Office is fishing them out. You can see the number of licenses that have been revoked and suspended in just this year compared to last year is a lot. That's to show you that a lot of people are going through same situation. So be calm and just be positive about whatever you're doing, okay? So guys, this brings us to the end of today's video, and I hope you find this video helpful. Please do like and share this video with your friends and loved ones if you do find it helpful. And if you're yet to subscribe to join our beautiful family, please do hit on that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, so each time I upload a new video, you're going to be the very first person to see that video. Until I see you in my next video, guys, do take care and have a lovely day. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye for now.